Been a long day today. Had some work this morning. Sue took the dog into the groomers for her haircut and bath and stuff. And then we had to run down to Brownwood for a meet and greet. Let me see. I wrote some of this down for John and Janice Keller. We had lunch with them at Gators and a couple of beers, and hopefully we answered all the questions you had. I'm sure after I left, because it happens to me all the time, I'm sure after I left you probably thought, oh darn it, I wanted to ask this or that. Don't let it bother you. It comes with old age. So nice people. They're looking to move here. They're experiencing a lot. For a first-time visitor, I believe he's a first-time visitor. He's staying in Brownwood at the bungalows, I believe, down there at Alden. And he's taking a golf cart ride, and he's going all the way to Spanish Springs for college color days. Pretty brave for a first-time visitor to go that far in a golf cart. And anybody that's been here on these golf cart trails knows what I'm talking about. So I advised him the same thing I advise everybody else, but he knows, he watches my videos, and he was quoting everything that I said. That I said, well, enjoy, try to feel your way up there the best you can. I helped him out with the map as best I could. And plus he's got the golf cart app, which may or may not help him all the time. It's kind of iffy. But just, I said, get back to familiar territory before it gets dark. But he's got a gas golf cart, he's got headlights, so even if he gets lost, he'll find his way around. It's just at nighttime, if you're not familiar with our golf cart trails at night, they can be dark and they just don't look familiar. You don't see things at night. So I was just getting down to, he said from Evans Prairie, I think, all the way down to Brownwood. He's kind of familiar with that area. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, so from Spanish Springs to Evans Prairie, give or take, if you don't get lost, what, half hour, kinda? Get down to Evans Prairie and then you're okay. So hopefully it was okay. Appreciate lunch. Once again, you didn't have to buy me anything, but you did. I couldn't talk you out of it. So Sue and I both say thank you. We really enjoyed the conversation. I would tell you both good luck on your golf because I don't have a good golf game either. I do okay sometimes, but not all the time. So just enjoy yourself and have fun. You're here on a lifestyle visit, if I remember right, so have fun. I know you're going to have to go home sooner or later. Okay, questions. I'm doing this kind of off-the-wall kind of thing. I'm probably going to post this next Friday because I'm not doing news here lately because the news is kind of boring. Same old stuff. So anyway, get a couple questions out of the way. And I don't know how these questions are, if they've been around for a long time and you've been waiting for an answer. I'm sorry. I've been really busy. Sue still has me working around the house. I'm painting walls now. This stuff will never end. Cat K says, Cat from Ohio here. Have a few questions. It says, I don't believe you've addressed these. During our upcoming lifestyle visit, early 2019, we'd like to check out the putt and play and or putt and pitch sites. Do these amenities provide clubs to use for free, or would we need to rent them? If renting, I assume we could do that at a country club. No, you can't rent clubs at any country club. I think Arnold Palmer's, which is up by Lake Sumter, I think they rent clubs. But if you're going to be down here in the wintertime, you said early 2019, so I'm assuming that means January or February, or maybe March. That's in season here. So if they've got any clubs to rent, I'm not saying that the odds is good you're going to get any of them because they would probably disappear pretty fast. But I will tell you, most people here, including me, has all got at least one extra bag of clubs because we have them for our guests, people that come down to visit, and I got an extra set of clubs. I've got an extra set of clubs. I've got another cheap set of clubs up in the attic. So, you know, if you need to borrow a putter or two, or if you need to borrow an iron to chip or whatever, get in contact with me. If you can't find one down there, you know, come, I'll give you a couple to take down with you. But you got to bring them back, but I'll give them to you. But the truth is, the putt and play, I think, is an amenity. And if it is, there's probably some type of a building, shed, shack, something down there where you can get these things. That's the way it is here. If I want to play pickleball and I don't have pickleball paddles or a pickleball, I can go to the shed, open it up, and inside is all that stuff, the balls, the paddles, this or that. Same thing with bocce ball or shuffleboard or any of that stuff. It's an amenity. And I can go in there and I can get anything I need to go play, unless you know, they're all out and somebody's using them. And I'm going to assume it's that way down there, but I've said 100 times, these rules and things change when it goes from one area to another. So down in Finney, I don't know that that's the rule about the stuff that you can use. That could be a change down there. I haven't dived into it that deep. But I'm just assuming that anything you need will probably be down there. It's just that if you're coming down early in the year, it'll be a very, very busy time of year. And so, you know, it may be there and it may not be there. And the country clubs, like I said, no, you can't rent clubs at a country club. You know, I think it's Arnold Palmer's, and you might be able to go over to Sarasota. I haven't really done that. Most people don't, but you might be able to go to Sarasota and ask them, or just call up there. They all got numbers. You'll have a number, and ask them if they have any clubs up there that you can rent or something like that. But let me tell you, you're coming on a lifestyle visit. Somebody's going to be assigned to you, and that person will help you through all this. He can help you set up tee times on golf courses. He or she, whoever may be assistant. And if you need to try to pitch and play and all that kind of stuff, ask that person. Just tell them, I want to do that. Do I need clubs, or do you have clubs? I mean, if you're coming on a lifestyle visit, I don't know. I've never been down to the houses that they're using now, the bungalows at Alden or whatever. Shoot, there might be clubs inside the garage there for you to use. I don't know that. Ask that person that's assigned to you. That's what they do. Beyond visiting the squares, recreation centers, and checking out amenities that relate to our personal interests, what do you recommend as must-dos when visiting for the first time? Well, the thing is I don't know what you're coming down here for. I mean, are you coming down here to look for a place to buy? Or are you just coming down here and spending 4 or 5 days like a little mini vacation? I don't know what you're doing. Are you going? You know, I don't know. You didn't say here, but I'm gonna assume that you're looking for a place to buy to retire in. If that's the case, then one of the #1 things on the thing to do is to do the shuttle. They'll take you around to all the different, not all of them, but a lot of the different villages. There'll be a lady or a guy on the bus that'll be talking to you, to explain things to you, tell you what's going on here, what's going on there. It'll show you all these things. It'll probably take you down the Finney area, I'm going to guess, and drive around down there. They still drive through Brownwood, Hillsboro, Collier. I live in Hillsboro area, and I see the buses go through here quite a bit, the trolleys. So do that and kind of get an idea how everything looks. Another must do, if you're looking for a place to buy, is hit all the open houses. If you're wanting to buy new, there's open houses every day, and it's in the paper. And if you're going to be down here looking for a place, hit them open houses so you can get an idea, the size, square footage, how the neighborhoods are laid out, how close is this neighborhood to shopping, how close are we to a rec center in this particular house, how close are we to a town square, if that's important to you. All these little things. So hit them, and then get, you know, you'll see the price of the house too. I don't know what your budget is, but you know, you'll see what you can get for your budget. And so I would do that. And then collect all the information you can, the papers, they'll give them to you, the house, how much it costs, all this and that. Because after you look about a dozen or so houses, you'll start getting a little confused about numbers and what you looked at and where it was at. When you got the paper, you can pull it out. It'll jot your memory of what you saw. Another thing that I would do, that have to do things, and it's really, you don't do anything really. I would check out all 3 squares just to see the difference. I'd go to Spanish Springs, have dinner up there, cruise around town. I don't care if you take your car or your golf cart up there. Just cruise around town, look at it, go through some of the neighborhoods up there, get a feel of what it is, and then go down to Lake Sumter. It's on your way back home anyway. And go through Lake Sumter, park the car. Go to Panera Bread, depending on what time of day it is. You know, get a salad, get a cup of coffee, sit out there on the veranda and just kind of watch things, and you get a good feel of what it is. There's also a boardwalk there that goes around, or not all the way around, but along the lake edge right there. Go down to the boardwalk, just take a stroll down that and get another feel of what it is. They used to have boat rides there, about $4 a person. That would take you a little tour around the lake. And one of the people on the boat would tell you stories about the lake and houses around it. Take the stories with a grain of salt. It's all in fun. But do that. Go to Haagen-Dazs. It's right there next to the boat docks, and sit outside, right on the water's edge. And get yourself a little ice cream, and just sit there and relax and in the breeze and look out over the lake. And it'll just give you a good feel of what's going on there. And then just kind of check the square out, check the hotels out that's right there, check the shopping that's up and down the roads. Then get in your car and go on down to Brownwood and check out Brownwood, get a good feel what that town's about. And the traffic and all that goes along with it. And that'll help you out. And then if you're thinking about buying a new home in Finney, there is going to be a square down there. Apparently there must be some kind of a mix-up with what people are being told, because I've had 3 people this week tell me that a real estate person told them they've never announced a square, and that's not true. It was in the paper. It was in the villages-news.com. It's been all over the place that they announced that there is going to be a square-like area, but they have never announced where it's going to be. So it's anybody's guess. So there's going to be a square down there, Anyway, you get a feel of what's going on, what the Villages is, the different types of homes, different style of homes. And you'll kind of know more about maybe what you're looking for, where you would like to put down roots, and those kind. And then when you go to the square at night, which you will, and listen to some music and maybe do some dancing or whatever, talk to the people there. I'm one of them. I don't go to the square that much anymore. It's one of them things I got bored with. But if you go to the square and you're sitting there, don't be afraid to talk to the people around you. Everybody loves to talk about their village. Everybody loves to talk about their experiences here and all these kinds of things. So don't be afraid to ask questions. It doesn't. It ain't going to hurt nobody's feelings if you ask questions. They're more than glad to help you out. I know I am. So just be open and just talk to them and ask them, and you'll pick up so much information that you're going to walk away here after a lifestyle visit of 4 or 5 days with a wealth of knowledge that you didn't have when you came here. What else was it? It says owes, O-W-E-S. Who owns who owns the recreation centers? In other words, if something catastrophic happens, like ground collapse, for example, at a rec center, would the developer replace the facility, or would the property owners in that particular area be responsible for it? Yes. In the manner that your district is responsible for repairing the bridge you talked about in the video. Yes, that's the thing that I don't understand. The bridge thing. I mean, I've done a video on that. I don't get it till this day. Or I guess I never will unless somebody can actually sit down and talk common sense to me. I just don't understand that. But anyway, in your area, any area, my area, here's how it works in my area. Finney area, like I said, the developer's in control. He can change things tweak them, whatever he wants to do, or the family wants to do. Here is this way. When we were building here and they were still selling houses, all of this was under the developer's control. The rec centers, the pools, all of that. We still had use of all that stuff, just like normal, but it was under his control, which means he still owned them, the everything. And after a couple of years, I don't know the exact time, but after a couple of years, when this area was developed and done, I guess, they sold all the houses, he sold all that back to the district, Hillsborough. That's Hillsborough, Lake Deaton, Dunedin, and I don't know how far it goes, truthfully. I don't pay no attention to it, but District 10, anybody that's in District 10, we own it all. But anyway, we buy it back, and then once we buy it back in our district, we're responsible for it. Any sinkholes, any damage, anything like that, the people that live in District 10 will pay for that. That's the way I understand it works. I don't know all the intricate details about that. But when you come down here, once again, don't be afraid to ask the people in the villages, the realtors, and all these people. They're supposed to have the knowledge for all that stuff. Don't be afraid to ask them. Says they missed my news video. Yeah, I've gotten quite a few emails about that, actually. I just haven't been doing very many news because it just seems like to me it's the same old, and I don't know. I just get tired of reading the same old stuff. I don't mind reading bad news, even though I've gotten a lot of contradiction about that. You know, I always tell everybody, if you don't want to hear about the bad news, then you really probably don't want to watch my news, because I'm going to read probably 65% of the bad news and only 35% of some good news. Because if you want to read the good news, you just go to the Daily Sun app and read that. That's the developer's newspaper that he owns, and it's all good news in there. You can read that. Me, if there's a golf cart being stolen, I want you to know about it. If there's been a rash of home burglaries in a certain village somewhere, I want you to know about it. You're the ones coming down here with a pocket full of cash buying a house, and I want you to know what you're buying into. I'm not going to feed you a line because I don't get paid anything. You know, I just want to make it clear, because I've gotten a few comments. I do not get any kind of kickback from the villages. No real estate company is sponsoring my channel. No real estate person is sponsoring my channel or giving me anything free or anything like that. I have nothing to gain here. I'm just throwing the information out there, and you can do with it what you want. You can listen, you can ignore it. That's up to you. But if you move into an area that's had problems in the past, and then if you decide to buy in that area and then have problems, you can't say you wasn't warned, because it happens. Not a lot, but it happens. What else? I had something over here too. Aurora Night. Right? Aura? A-U-R-A? Aura Night? Is that right? Concerns about being alone. Though it was a gated community, she's thinking about a home security system. Should I be worried? I wouldn't. The crime rate here is like very, very, very low. You hear about a nutball once in a while, but you know there's an old saying, it takes two to tango. So generally speaking, if you hear about some guy that got into a fight with a girl and had a fight, it's usually a boyfriend and a girlfriend kind of situation. Alcohol is usually involved somewhere in there, and you know, something escalates and it happens. But all in all, it's very quiet. You don't see much going on. The squares go from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock for the music. All the restaurants, most of them anyway, not all of them's got their own entertainment inside too. They'll have a music band of some sort or something like that. And so at 9 o'clock, most places close down. Not all, most of them are closed down, and people go home. By 10 o'clock, most of them are in bed. So after 10 o'clock, if you're a late night person like I am, I sit here and I look out my window and I don't see nothing but the lights in the front yard. No cars, nothing. You don't hear nothing. I used to go walking at night to get exercise because there was nobody out, no cars, no anything. Truthfully, life where I'm at anyway can be downright boring after 10 o'clock at night. So, you know, I don't think you have any problem. Now, if you're a party girl kind of thing, then, you know, I'd say that I'm not saying there'd be a problem. I'm just saying you're more at risk to run into some type of a little problem. But if you're a homebody kind of, I don't want to say that either because I'm making it sound like you got to stay home. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about home security or any of that kind of stuff. But let me say this. You got to do what makes you sleep well at night. And if having a nice home security in your house at night makes you sleep well and secure, then that's what I would do. I don't have it. I got a dog that's probably about as good as any home security we could ever have. She's a yip dog, and any kind of noise that happens around here, she's always yipping. So I don't have to worry about it. But if I was you, just come down, enjoy. I wouldn't worry about it. Tammy Carlson. What's the purpose of the gates if anybody can push a button and go in? I get that question every now and then. I've answered it before. It's traffic control, basically, because behind the guard shacks is usually where the golf carts cross. They go from one side to the other side if they want to continue on. And so the gates are down to stop traffic. That gives each golf cart so many seconds to go across there unabated. And that's why. Because if there was no gates there, I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you what I know, that them people would come around that roundabout and they would shoot through that gate without slowing down, and if a golf cart's in the way, he's dead. And that's just the way it is. Then the gates are there basically to make you stop for just long enough before that gate opens back up to let them golf carts go across there safely. And that's the main reason for them. There's also other reasons for them that I could get into, but I'll do one real quick. By making you stop for just that split second, they just took a picture of the front of your car and your license plate going in on both lanes. Resident, it didn't make no difference. And on the other side where you're coming out, where you really don't have to stop, but there is a camera over there, not as good as the ones going in, but there's a camera over there going out. Sometimes they catch people that are thieves. He comes in a pickup truck and it's empty. 1 hour later, because this film has the time, date, and all that stuff on it. 1 hour later, that same pickup truck's going out and he's got a refrigerator in the back of it. See what I'm saying? So they use that a lot. Another reason, because they have, for the residents, there's a card that you're given as a resident, and you can swipe the card and open the gate up on your own. That card tracks you, and there's a good reason for that. It ain't a conspiracy theory or nothing like that. But there's people here, they're older, they have Alzheimer's, they have dementia, and sometimes they get out, they get in the car, they take off, they get lost. And so they'll call the police, and that's the first thing the sheriff will do is go up to the CDD office, go back there in the back where the cameras are at, and then he'll start running it. And then they'll find out where that car's at, and they can track it. He went through this gate, then he went through that gate, and they kind of know the direction that car's going, and they know where to kind of look. So that's what a lot of that stuff's for. Video Sanibel. Oh yeah, I'm going to be busy September 16th. We're going to video a brand new house. Actually, I think it's a custom built house that one of my subscribers is building right over here off of the conservation area. And I believe it's a Sanibel model. For those of you that might be interested in a Sanibel model, you can look that up. So I'm going to go over there, I believe it's September 16th. I forget what time, but it makes no difference. And we're going to do a video of his house and kind of give you an idea what a Sanibel looks like. I've seen pictures of it. Looks like an absolute gorgeous home. I'd give my right arm to have it. They look like it had like maybe 3, I want to say 2-car garages. Yeah, I'd like to have 3 2-car garages. So anyway, we're going to go over and take a video of that, and I'll get it on here. Next week coming up, the video Monday is going to be, well, no, that's not on this one. That'll be for the week after that. So anyway, we've got a lot of nice comments about me and Sue answering some of your questions, a lot. And I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad we got some information out there. And they want us to do it again. I might. But what I'll have to do is like I did this time. I don't know really what to talk about. I feel like I've talked about everything. So what I might do is like I did the last time. I may put a video out there saying, anybody's got a question for Sue, put it on. I'll leave the video up for like 24 hours, and then I'm going to take it down. And that way I can kind of limit how many questions. If you see this time, I've done it for 24 hours, and we ended up with like an hour and a half of video. I had to make it 2 parts. So I might do that again. That was fun. And other than that, I'm going to get out of here. And hopefully this helps a little bit. And I will see you all on the other side.